Hello and welcome to Cynical Optimists. I'm haddowinc.
And I am NGM.
We missed last week's upload because we were on break. It was our mid-run break. But now we're back with 6 more topics and 6 more weeks of us talking at you for a microphone.
We didn't just leave you last week, did we?
No, we did upload our Cynical Optimists review / ramble about Man of Steel because we sat down to watch that specifically to give our view to all you lovely people. We'll put a link to that in the description.
We're actually once again in the same room. Maybe this half of the series is going to be a more connected experience.
Well, it will be less of a Skype-affiliated experience.
Yes. Let us know if you can see the difference. We'll kick off, as per, with film and TV news. And last week, during our break, Comic-Con happened.
Yes.
So we actually missed out on quite a lot, including new Doctor Who trailer, which we'll talk about later. New trailers for Batman vs Superman, which looks much more promising. Suicide Squad trailer, which looks phenomenal. What else was there? New James Bond trailer. That wasn't during Comic-Con. That's just gone up yesterday or the day before. It's all been quite go in terms of films, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a lot of film news compared. Well, I mean, that helps you out a lot because you're film and TV news. You need more film news to make up for the fact that there's less TV news whilst all the big US shows are on break.
Yes, exactly. What was your favourite trailer from Comic-Con?
I did like the Batman v Superman. I think I prefer the Suicide Squad trailer though to that one. We'll talk about the Doctor Who trailer later. Was that actually shown at Comic-Con or was that just a coincidence it had to come out at the same time?
What, Doctor Who?
Yeah.
No, it was shown at... In fact, it was shown to the Americans sort of first because it came out at like midnight in the UK.
Oh, bloody Americans.
I know, it shows who their real fans are, doesn't it? Moffat, you sellout prick.
There's a taster of this discussion for you.
Yeah, Suicide Squad trailer. One of the best films, I think, coming up, potentially.
Yeah, it has potential to be really, really good.
I mean, everything about that trailer was epic. And the Joker, it's just... What they're doing with it, it's just amazing. It just looks amazing.
I like how the Joker looks very distinct compared to Heath Ledger's Joker and seems to be taking it in a different direction.
Yeah,
they're not trying to... They might have tried to capitalise on the Dark Knight trilogy of Man of Steel, but they're not trying to capitalise on Heath Ledger's Joker. She's good.
No, this looks like a complete reboot, unique thing, but will also tie into Batman vs Superman, potentially. There was, in the trailer, there was glimpses of Batman riding on the Joker's car.
Yeah. Well, suppose DC Cinematic Universe seems to be taking place quite late, doesn't it? With if it's going to be like old Batman and like the Suicide Squad and things like that. Surely those things will take place a little into the story rather than.
But in some ways, at least that's sort of telling us that maybe their cinematic universe won't drag on forever.
Maybe.
Marvel.
And that just there was the Marvel news that we have to have every week.
No, did I have some? Oh yeah, a bit of Marvel news, not big, but Jurassic World has overtaken the Avengers as the 3rd biggest film of all time.
So yeah, that's
Marvel news-ish. The fact that they got beaten by Jurassic World.
Between the first Avengers and Jurassic World, I'd still say the Avengers. Like, although it's very actiony and stuff like that, I'd still say it's a better film.
Yeah, I'm with you on that actually.
But I think Jurassic World just it's good, which some of the Jurassic Park sequels weren't.
Alan. If you don't know why I just said Alan, go on YouTube and type in I forgot what was his last name. Type in Jurassic Park 3 Alan's Bad Dream. It's the funniest thing you'll see. He basically falls asleep while he's on the plane on the way to Isla, whatever it's called, and he has a bit of a nightmare where he wakes up and there's just a raptor sitting next to him on the plane going, Alan! Literally the funniest thing. So yeah, it was a lot better than that. But no, you're about to say that it's slightly overrated, aren't you?
Well, it capitalises... The thing is, because it is decent, it's a good film, it means it capitalises on Jurassic Park, whilst also being quite good in its own right.
I actually I saw it and it was initially very exciting to watch, but I mean, like, having toned down a bit, I mean, I think it was a tad overrated. I felt the same with that as I did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, entertaining at the time, but when you reflect back on it, it's sort of like, we made quite a big deal out of that, didn't we? And it wasn't that special.
See, I still really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. It's still probably one of my favourite Marvels out of them all. But it's just like, spoiler alert by the way, it's just at the end of Jurassic World, when they have the big showdown, they're like, the T-Rex, get him! And then the giant fish monster eats the big mutant dinosaur.
And then the T-Rex high-fives the other dinosaur.
Cool. And it just fucks off. It's not like, shall we eat these people?
High-fives. Nah. He high-fives Chris Pratt and then buggers off.
Fist bumps the lady.
Yeah.
And then everyone's just like, oh fuck it, we're leaving. The T-Rex has apparently decided to let everyone else live.
The T-Rex will become like the protagonist of the next film. It would just be following him on Isla... I've forgotten the name again. Whatever it's called, the island that they're on.
Jurassic World Land.
Jurassic World Island place. And it would be the dinosaur going around, maybe with Alan, the Velociraptor. Yeah, that'd be I'll direct the next one, because did you hear the director of Jurassic World isn't going to do the next one?
So the next one has already been decided on.
Of course it has. It's the third biggest film of all time.
Yeah.
Are you mad? In fact, I'm genuinely surprised Titanic didn't get a sequel, to be honest. That's still higher than Jurassic World.
They should call it The Lost Park Jurassic World, just to really confuse people.
Am I right in saying number 1 and 2 on that list are both James Cameron films? Titanic and Avatar. They are, aren't they?
They might be, yeah. Where does the last Harry Potter come into that list? Because I know it's on there.
Yeah, it's on there. I think it's in the 10s, I think, in the top 10. But no, James Cameron has a lot of money. But, Avatar 2 and 3 soon.
Oh, well, he's gonna capitalise the entire top 4 by then.
That film's... we should do our own separate podcast on that, to be honest. They re-released Avatar as well, to make more money from it.
They re-released it? Like, what? How do they enhance that? They were using, like... It's not like the special edition of Star Wars where George Lucas just randomly adds CGI aliens into each scene. Unless they did, of course.
It's pointless, stupid film. Money grabbing bastard, James. Terminator 2 was good though. I'll let you off because Terminator 2 was fantastic. Where was I? Oh yeah, not strictly speaking Marvel news. Because Fox own X-Men, etc.
Yeah.
X-Men Apocalypse. I think they showed off a load of stuff at Comic-Con, but they haven't shown it to us, mere peasants.
No.
You haven't seen what Apocalypse is going to look like yet, have you, Phil?
No.
I've brought up a picture on my laptop, and I'm going to swap over to that tab now, and Phil's going to give me his reaction to what Oscar Isaac looks like as the new villain.
He kind of looks like Thanos.
He looks like... I don't know, I mean... We're looking at a set picture that Entertainment Weekly published not long ago, and he sort of looks like a Power Rangers villain.
A little bit, yeah.
It's not...
Bit heavy on the black eyeliner.
Yeah. I mean, I understand in the finished film it's going to be a lot more complete with lighting and this, that and the other, but so far the set photos... Yeah...
I like how they're always... Like, it's as if somebody went, picture time! And they're like, what? Bit confused.
But his face just sort of looks a bit funny, doesn't it?
Because Apocalypse is meant to be like the all-powerful mutant, isn't it?
Yeah. Like the original mutant sort of thing.
Yeah. So surely they must be getting to the end of the rope with the X-Men films.
Well, no, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, maybe when... Because the post-credits scene of... Days of Future Past showed sort of it was set in the past, wasn't it, of the pyramids and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if maybe like when they sort of reboot the universe slightly with Days of Future Past, maybe it made Apocalypse sort of happen. I don't know, but I mean,
I thought you were going to say they're going to do like keep on moving backwards in time with the series.
No, this is I think it's the 1980s that we set in now. Hence that particular lady on the left's haircut. I'm not talking about Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse. I'm talking about one of the other characters in the picture, by the way. Yeah, I have no idea, but anyway, it should be an interesting film because it's Bryan Singer again. But it all just seems a little bit of a jumble at the moment where the X-Men universe is.
Yeah.
Because this is set in the 80s, but at the end of Days of Future Past we saw most of the characters in the future. So maybe it's like Professor X telling Wolverine what happened while he was asleep or whatever. I don't know how this is going to work, but I mean, I'm hopeful for it because I love the X-Men films, I think.
Yay!
But
Comic book logic.
Comic book logic. Anyway, tenuous link time.
Oh wait, don't you have that one?
I did briefly mention it earlier, but there's a new James Bond trailer.
It's called Spectre.
It's called Spectre or Spectra. Spectre. That's how they say it in the trailer. Unless you're Sean Connery, where it's Spectra. Yeah, it shows off the new Aston Martin DB10. This is the only opportunity I'm going to get to talk about cars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aston Martin actually made that car custom. They made 10 units just for the film. And you won't be able to buy one because they're all being used for Spectre. So there's some interesting car news for you.
Certainly will be an interesting spectacle. I'll show myself out.
So yeah, the newest trailer looks good. I don't know, I haven't really got that much to say on it because I didn't really particularly get blown away by Skyfall.
No. Then again, that was the year of the glass prisons.
Oh God! Yeah, lock your villain in a glass prison,
and then he escapes somehow. That was like just the main three films were like Star Trek Into Darkness, The Avengers, and that all had that.
Yeah, exact same scene.
And they were released within a few months of each other as well.
Such a piss take. No, I mean, but I actually preferred both The Avengers and Star Trek 2 to Skyfall, whatever it was called.
It was interesting, Skyfall. Like, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, no, but I mean it
was better than Quantum of Solace.
I don't know. I actually quite like Quantum of Solace. That's something I shouldn't admit, along with X-Men Origins and Looney Tunes Back in Action. But I know I did genuinely quite enjoy Quantum of Solace more than I did Skyfall. I don't know. I just thought the fight at the end in that house was just way too Home Alone for a James Bond film.
Giant can of paint.
Yeah. And it was just nonsensical as well, like most of the plot. Like that whole thing with
him escaping.
Plus the fact that drive with the spies' names on it, that sort of just got left. And then there was the fact that M, who had been in the service for however many years, since Die Another Day actually, since whenever, just went with that candle, like, or the torch or whatever it was. And when they were walking to that house at the end and they had the torch on, why? Why did they put the torch on? No, they're obviously going to see you if you. Skyfall. But yeah, Spectre could be good, might not.
Yeah,
that's both cynical and optimistic. And now it's time for my tenuous link. I haven't got the energy to say this, to be honest. Do you want to do the tenuous link?
The tenuous link is that the Minecraft movie, which I only found out today was even going to be a thing, has got a director whose name I can't pronounce.
But he's the director of...
he's one of the co-creators of it, and I think he starred in as well. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So, I mean, I'm not sure what happens in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think it might be a drama. Either way, like...
haven't got a clue.
Expect to be watching the Minecraft movie and being like, oh, I can see the essence of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in this movie.
Yeah, that's what you can expect. Expect it a bit like that film, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, except blockier.
Lower resolution.
Yeah. Might be like the Mario movie with Bob Hoskins. Might not.
Oh, the Super Mario Bros. Movie that put back movies based on video games until now. Because no one wanted to make another Mario movie.
Yeah. Minecraft is a game which links my film news to gaming news.
And that leads on to gaming news. The first bit of news is that, unfortunately, I think it was just over a week ago now, the president and CEO of Nintendo Worldwide, Satoru Iwata, passed away. He was quite young, he was only 55. However, during his tenure at Nintendo, he worked as a developer and then as an executive, and then worked his way up to being the president of the company. He worked on the Earthbound, which is the game that NES is from, if you recognise that name at all. The Kirby games. And his development studio, I didn't actually know this until I listened to a keynote speech he'd done at the Game Developers Con in 2005. And he said that his company that he founded with friends that he'd met at like college, they called it How Laboratory after 2001. I never knew that's why it was named.
Oh.
Because it was named after the HAL 9000.
Oh. Wow. That is cool.
So I thought that was quite a cool little fact that he shared. But that's the same conference which he opens with what's become quite a big quote, especially it's been shared around a lot since he passed. But he says, on my business card it says that I am an executive. In my mind, I'm a games developer, but in my heart, I'm a gamer. Which obviously got lots of applause because he was at a game development con, so it's the right kind of thing to say. But no, he did a lot of he got lots of criticism for his decisions. Wii U. But he did do an awful lot of good whilst he's at the company. And he's certainly a good president. So yeah, it's a bit of Oh, you're a Pokemon fan, aren't you?
Oh, I love Pokemon.
You know Pokemon Gold Silver?
Yes.
It had both the regions in it.
Yes.
That was only because Iwata developed a code compression system which allowed them to get twice as much code in the game cartridge.
Really?
He invented the system which allowed...
That was literally one of the highlights of my life when I went from blue and red before that, wasn't it? Yellow and...
It was blue and red, and then yellow.
Yellow. I think I had blue and then yellow.
Yeah.
And then I went to gold. And then you had Kanto and Johto. That was literally...
Yeah.
So...
he developed that system himself.
A personal thank you for allowing me to travel from... Now, hang on. Was it Kanto to Johto? Yeah, it was Kanto to Johto, not the other way around, wasn't it?
No, Kanto
you start off in Kanto.
Kanto's the original region, isn't it?
I thought it was Johto.
No, I think Johto's the second region.
Oh.
I think so, because I recognise the name Kanto more.
Okay.
Therefore,
thank you for letting me travel between
regions.
between regions. That was genuinely one of the highlights of my life. That's sad, isn't it? But no, awesome. Thank you for that.
Yes, now we'll move on to some slightly, I'd say happier news, but it's just not sad news. So, the free-to-play game, Fallout Shelter, the mobile game.
Oh yeah.
That I described to you a few months ago. That you said you wish your personal highlight of E3 because it was the only game you could play,
and I haven't.
That has made $5 million in revenue from its.
Wow.
As a thing,
sorry. You can free-to-play game. Don't tell me it made that from add-ons and things or advertisements.
I think it did, yeah.
Christ.
So the thing is, you don't actually need to use any of them to play the game. I still need to start the game because I downloaded it onto my iPad and I was like, nah, play Solitaire instead. Less thinking. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's free ads or add-ons or whatever, but $5 million just from a...
Wow. From a mobile game.
Yeah.
Nice job. Fallout people.
Bethesda.
That's the one.
So I'm not sure if there's much to say about that, except damn. That's a lot of money. The PlayStation Now service, which is a service for streaming games.
Yep.
So you'd be able to play your older games because you'd be streaming them from a online service rather than actual downloading them onto the system. That's now available in the UK.
For PlayStation 4?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, it's all for PlayStation 4.
More irrelevant news for me. Yeah.
Don't worry, you'll go in. Don't worry, PS3. I still love you.
I still love my PS2. What? Yeah, I don't need a server. I don't need to stream it. I'll just fire up the old beast.
Yeah,
that is my PlayStation 2, by the way. Not to take any innuendos from that.
Far enough as old beast.
The old beast. No, that's not the right word. Is it? My PlayStation 2 again, for reference.
So yeah, that's going to be like. I like the idea of it streaming it straight. Obviously, I'm guessing that requires decent internet because streaming movies takes a lot. So streaming a game and having obviously the feedback and the interactive element to it's going to probably take a lot more of a...
Probably need an Ethernet cable or something, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's the same as playing a game online, but you'd be by yourself.
Yeah.
Which is like the best kind of online gaming. Yes, that's PlayStation Now. Next story is there was a game a few years ago called Aliens Colonial Marines, which was very, very widely criticised.
From the Alien franchise?
It was based on the Alien franchise.
Right, yeah, rings a bell.
But it was just... It had very... Like, its demos and things they all look great. Like, its trailers all look great. And then it released and it was shit, essentially.
Why would they ever do that? That never happens when they make a trailer better than the film or than the game. Don't do that.
There's a lot of...
Man of Steel!
It turned out later that the company is meant to be doing it, which is the company that develops Borderlands, which its name escapes me at the moment. The developer that makes Borderlands.
That's the one.
They'd actually outsourced the game to another developer, like a worse developer.
Right.
So Sega had given them the money to make the game, and then there's very much the rumours say that then they outsourced it again and gave them less of the money so that they could put the money into Borderlands, like the first Borderlands game instead, and make that. So, but the other day, the CEO of Borderlands developer is notoriously a bit of a cock.
What's his name? Is it Mr. Borderlands person?
I want to say Randy. But I've just written game developer.
That's Mr. Borderlands person who works for the Borderlands developer.
Mr. Borderlands developer CEO. Essentially, he was very defensive about it, and actually, the game, because of how unrepresentative it was of the final product, the developer was actually taken to court.
Wow!
Because it was
for the trailer.
Because the trailer and even the game demo was heavily scripted to give, and it was false advertising. It was just to such an extent where the fans actually took legal action. But the case was thrown out of court, and then very recently he was recorded making quite smug comments about it.
When you say the case was thrown out of court, you don't mean like the game in the case. Fuck this! Screw Alien Combat Battle, whatever it's called.
He's making quite smug claims about how it should have never gone to court in the first place, and how he was just it was just these gamers that were creating trouble out of nothing and stuff like that. So, and in a very recent interview, he said that some gamers just like to complain about things because some people are just sadists who like to complain. And he tried to use that as an explanation for why all these people were complaining about this broken crap game. So naturally that went down like a ton of bricks.
That's like doing a fart and being like, well, some people just like to complain about smells.
But yeah, he's So that, yeah. He's
sadist. Oh dear.
Oh, it was like, I think it was like a day later that it was like he was at some kind of convention and they were like, oh, that his name definitely is Randy, because it was like hashtag ask Randy or something like that, and they're like, come and ask him questions, and all the questions were like, do you sleep on a big pile of money that was meant to go into paying into clothing Marines? It's all questions like that. So, like, that's like the worst time to do like, oh, let's do a Q&A when you're like, your approval rating with like your fan base is just rock bottom.
Ask Bin Laden.
So yeah, that was it was an interesting news story anyway. It's just kind of like the almost disbelief that someone can be that kind of smug and like dismissive of actual criticism. But yes, Street Fighter V, it will have DLC characters come into it, but apparently they can be earned for free by playing the game. So, I mean, that's one way I think DLC is alright. If essentially for impatient bastards who don't want to unlock characters, they can just pay to unlock the characters, but obviously those who actually spend a lot of time with the game, they're actually getting like the value out of the game. They can just they'll unlock it anyway, kind of thing. I think that's quite good. Also, supposedly Street Fighter V is going to be done with like all the like, because I'm sure you might have seen it, like you got like Street Fighter 4 Super, and then Super Street Fighter 4 Ultra, Super Street Fighter 4 Ultra Super version and stuff like that. And apparently that's all kind of over.
Good.
Capcom aren't doing that.
Yeah, we were saying the other week on our discussion about not giving us the full game for the price you pay.
Well, that's not giving you that's not giving you the full game. That's just giving you the same completed game just over and over with slight changes. But I don't know, it looks like it could be okay. They seem to have a long-term support plan for it. But then this could all just be said to try and get people to buy the game, as is very often the case with these kinds of things. Xbox One, you know, the best console, if you disregard the other consoles.
If you work at Microsoft, it's the best console.
Or you're fired. You will be able to stream Xbox One games onto Windows 10 devices.
Will I?
Yeah.
Will I personally?
What if you get a Windows 10 device and an
Actually,
Xbox
I got
One?
a little notification window at the bottom of my laptop saying I'm going to receive Windows 10 now.
Well, the thing is, I've got the same one. It just says get Windows 10. It's like, go on. Please.
No, yeah.
Please, we try not to make this one terrible. We said
They're giving it away for free, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are just trying their hardest.
Reminds me of, do you know the beginning of Tron Legacy?
No.
Oh, basically they get hacked and they sort of get forced into giving out their newest operating system for free, and they're just like, yeah, let's just pretend we're doing it. Tron Legacy is a great film, by the way.
But yeah, they seem to be really, really pushing Windows 10. Like, I like that Microsoft have finally realised that they have both a PC gaming department and an Xbox gaming department, because for years they just kind of shunned the PC a lot. So that making the two more compatible is going to make the Xbox seem more appealing to people with PCs. Although if they have a PC, why the fuck would they need anything else?
Product integration does help. Like when you if you've got something that will run perfectly with another device, then that tends to. That's always what I've found weird about Microsoft is that they sort of design them quite similarly in terms of operating system stuff, but you can't integrate them at all to each other.
No.
I mean,
maybe they're just copying Apple now. It's like,
exactly, that's what
Apple devices.
Apple's managed to be successful from the fact that it integrates everything perfectly.
Yeah, like when Apple TVs and your Apple speakers.
Yeah, if you've got an iPhone, then you go and buy an iPad. Literally, a couple of clicks of the button, and you can transfer everything across. So you can even get text messages on your iPhone, on your iPad now. It's just got everything sorted out and integrated, whereas Windows don't do that at all.
But they're trying, at least.
They're trying, which is nice.
And that brings me on to my new story that leads into our discussion.
Is it a tenuous link?
It could be, yes. Well, I don't know. Listen to it and find out.
Okay, go.
At Comic-Con, there's also a lot more trailers for Lego Dimensions, which is the new Toys to Life Lego game, which will have all the sets with it. Amongst the franchises that will be included, we already knew there was Back to the Future. There's Portal. It's going to be Lego Portal levels.
Ooh.
And also, most recently, is Lego Doctor Who, which received its trailer the other day. I'm still hoping for a full-blown Lego Doctor Who game, but it's a nice step. And it is going to be the first time that you're going to get a Doctor Who game that isn't... You don't immediately think, oh, this is probably going to be shit.
Cough, everything else, cough.
Cough, Eternity Clock.
Don't.
So yes, and then also there was a trailer for the Doctor Who TV show, which leads us on
to our discussion
on Doctor Who.
Where do we begin?
Well, let's begin at the start. Hey
Phil. Oh, we'll do some higher pitched voices. Hey Phil, are you looking forward to the first episode of the rebooted Doctor Who tonight? I don't know why I'm doing this. 2005.
We're mostly going to talk about New Who, because I've seen a bit of old Who.
Yeah.
New Who, hello! But it's mostly going to be everything since 2005.
Yeah.
Which is when I got into it properly. I must have been... Well, if I'm 20 now,
10
I was
years
10
ago.
then.
I was 9. 9. Crazy.
9.
Yeah, great show. Growing up. Christopher Eccleston, fantastic. David Tennant, mind blown.
Oh, I thought you were doing catchphrases there.
I didn't even realise I did that. Yeah, Alonzi. I didn't even realise I did that. Nicely pointed out. Matt Smith's era. Or do we want to talk a bit more about...
I think we'll talk about the series in turn, probably.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, and then we'll finish off with discussing the newest trailer. So we'll start off with... well, the series that brought it back was Russell T Davies with Christopher Eccleston. Didn't you just get a text one day from Russell T Davies? It's like, do you want to be the Doctor? And he's like, yeah, well, yeah.
He'd worked with him on a show called The Second Coming. Just about a year prior to that. They were quite well acquainted, him and Russell T Davies. And then Russell T Davies was at a party with... might have been it's not Julie Gardner. Might have been, actually. One of the execs at the BBC. And then that sort of happened and someone said, oh, you should remake Doctor Who. And he said, yeah, alright, okay. So that happened.
Give it a go.
Series 1.
Well, the big thing about Series 1 is that because they're trying to bring it back, they're trying to make it very... approachable, aren't they? So every episode takes place on Earth or near Earth orbit.
Yeah.
In order to try and make it feel a lot more, this is happening on our planet.
Yeah, and Rose Tyler was an excellent choice of companion to bring us close to the Doctor as well. Her character really brought.
She asked the questions that we were asking.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. Like she wasn't smart at all.
No. In fact, my problem with Clara at the moment is that it seems to be gone completely the opposite, and now she's sort of a bit too much. I mean, Rose Tyler and other companions, Martha, etc., were good because they had a good sense of morality.
Yeah, and
that was what really sort of set them apart. Whereas Clara seems to just be fucking good at everything, and it's really starting to bug me a bit because I don't think that's what Doctor Who should be about.
Yeah, like the series 1, 2 of Eccleston and Tennant at least gave the impression that the Doctor had been living amongst humans for ages and he kind of was good at it because he managed to blend in, kind of thing. Whereas Moffat's Doctors have been more like, is this how I human? And he's putting like a shoe on his head and shoving yogurt up his nose. It's like, the assistant has to be like, no, Doctor, that's not how you human. Oh, silly Doctor. Looks like we gotta go save the plot. You go sit here hitting buttons and making up catchphrases.
I mean, one of my favourite things about Russell T Davies' era was that through the companions, like, I felt connected to them, and like it sort of helped viewers improve. It helped certainly me sort of improve my sense of morality and perspective. Like,
yeah,
it's the fact that the companions.
The companions are essentially anyone.
Yeah, but because because they saw what was right and wrong, they got the biggest reward in the universe of travelling in time with this alien, and it's sort of like it really made you think, oh right, okay.
Yeah, they didn't have to be special; they just had to be good.
Yeah, exactly, and it turned fans into good people, because like I got a lot of I grew up with it, so I can't say that it hasn't had an effect on my life, because I've always looked at Doctor Who and thought, wow, yeah, he treats everything with a good heart, and this hearts, and it worked like that. Whereas I think modern Who's gone a bit sort of off that slightly, and it just seems a bit more of a sort of quirky comedy thing these days. Where the companion has to be amazing and smart and this, that and the other.
Yeah, and the thing is, Clara, it was destined, and he had to meeting her, and then it was her destiny to do this, and it was her destiny to do that. And even after her destiny was done, she still wouldn't go. She was just hanging around.
And then she had another destiny, and then all sorts. It's just a bit of a faff. And like, I mean, I really enjoy Capaldi's Doctor.
Yeah.
But he hasn't quite got the same. I mean, he's not quite as relatable like as Eccleston or Tennant.
No.
And even Matt Smith, I think, had more to him than Capaldi's Doctor at the moment.
I mean, it's difficult to judge after one season.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of a Doctor. I mean, you have to with Eccleston, because after one season he was done.
But he managed to sort of like some of the decisions he made, like particularly powerful episode Dalek. In series 1 is when he had to he looked at his enemy and was sort of about to shoot him and stuff, and then he realised through sort of Rose's morality and through what she brought to the show that he didn't have to kill the Dalek, because it
and then you see it completely flipped on its head by the end of the series.
Exactly,
when he won't kill the Daleks.
No, yeah.
To like, because he would be killing the humans as well.
Oh, it's a great show, great series. I just feel like it's lost some of its depth recently. Like, I mean, in terms of a relatively comparable episode, Into the Dalek, Series 8.
Yeah, I liked Into the Dalek.
I liked it, but I think I think that's probably the closest it's come to a Series 1 episode.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the most easily comparable two episodes, Dalek and Into the Dalek. They have very similar themes and things that run, but I don't think it quite captures as much as Dalek did.
No, and also Dalek made quite a good reintroduction of the Daleks if you didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
With the dark room and the single glow and eye stalk.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
And also, people were more scared of the Daleks in the early seasons. Like, there was a few seasons in Matt Smith's era where it was like, oh, you wacky Daleks.
Yeah.
And no one on screen seemed to be scared of them, so how do you expect people at home to be scared of them?
Because they didn't kill anyone either for a good 3 series, did they?
Not really. They just maybe killed a few members of like supporting cast or messed with the set dressing.
One thing I did love about Into the Dalek was that they brought back the skeleton effect when they shot people. That's literally the best thing ever.
They hadn't done it since Series 5, which was Victory.
Did they even do it in Series 5?
Victory of the Daleks, when they realised that when the Daleks have recorded the testimony.
Oh, yeah.
Which, for some reason, they needed. Because they weren't real Daleks anymore. Well, I don't know. Because
there were still those sort of Davros Daleks, which didn't die, because even though he blew up all the Davros Daleks, that ship survived. Because
I mean, that's one thing I appreciate they've stopped doing, is the whole... the Doctor wipes out every single Dalek every single time, but next season...
Yeah, but that was the biggest cop-out. Like, oh yeah, how did you survive? One ship survived. Did it? How?
I mean, you could have just said, like, not everyone was there.
Or not everyone was part of Davros's DNA or something. Like,
yeah, just...
Make it a bit less of a cop-out. Just, one ship survived, because reasons.
I mean, the whole not having Davros' DNA thing could have then gone into the fact that they couldn't get the paradigm change. I don't know. The MacGuffin to work.
But no, going back to series 1, I thought that
we were planning to go through these series by series, but we kind of...
we're always going to cross streams into other series, but...
into other toilets.
And only Moffat series with the toilet series. Series 2, again, I think between series 1 and series 2, they had the best finales.
Yeah. I think series 2 still has the best finale.
Yeah. I don't know. Series 1 was pretty epic as well.
I mean, the amount of fan service in series 2 finale, like they reintroduced the two biggest villains in Doctor Who, and then by the end of series 2, you were really excited, and they fought they had a fight. They didn't even have all this time to build up to the fight. In series 1, it was all about the Daleks. Series 2, they reintroduced the Cybermen. At the end, they're like, fight. And you're like, wow, this is amazing.
It was amazing. One of the best moments of television. You didn't see it coming as well. They managed to keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
That scene where just where he's
like,
all prepared for the Cybermen and stuff.
And he's like Cyber Leader, Cyber King, whatever comes out.
Yeah. And then you hear the...
and you see the eye stalk just kind of
and you're like, what the fuck?
I already thought the whole thing about the names and everything. I was always like, okay, they have names, but just having a black Dalek be the leader of the golden ones, I found that cool.
I know. I don't think they are really cheesy gimmicks. Cybermen, Daleks, Dalek versus Cybermen, the Master. I mean, Russell T Davies, he did whack a load of gimmicks in there, bringing back all the companions, but they were fun.
And they had a strong underlying narrative.
Exactly. Yeah.
The thing is, like a Marvel film, it might be cliche in quite a lot of aspects, but it's a strong underlying foundation. Good.
Absolutely.
Which mean that they get away with it.
Whereas Moffat's series, he has paid fan service a bit, but my problem is that taking the most recent series finale, he gave us the Master and the Cybermen teamed up.
Yeah, for no real reason.
Well, no, at first you think, wow, this is going to be awesome. And then by the next episode, the Cybermen are just sort of slaves to the Master, with no... Because they've got quite a lot of character, the Cybermen, aren't they? Whereas they just seem to be totally whipped. And then, for some reason, they fuck off for half of the episode, and then we just focused on Clara talking to her dead boyfriend.
Well, the thing is, the Cybermen, they're like, every grave holds a Cyberman. You're like, okay, that could be cool. And then they get out of the grave, and they just kind of stood around for the entire thing, and then they fly up into the air and fucking kill themselves.
Worst end...
It's like saying, I have the entire army of all of Rome out here ready to do sword fighting. Oh, they've jumped in the sea. They're all drowned.
That you had the Master and the Cybermen, and yet most of the episode focused on Clara talking to her boyfriend.
And also, you already knew the Cybermen were coming back, because nowadays Doctor Who has all those news announcements as soon as anyone gets confirmed for the series.
Know. It's so annoying.
Imagine how much of the appeal it would have taken away of the Daleks versus Cybermen. It's Daleks confirmed to return in Doctor Who finale. You'd have just been like, this is the Daleks. Until
to be fair, there was a little bit of that going on back even with Russell T Davies. What was it, the Christmas one? The Next Doctor. That would have been better if they revealed the Cybermen in the episode.
Yeah, it's quite interesting when, because it was a series 4 finale. The thing at the end was meant to be, he sees Catherine Tate off, and then there's somehow 2 Cybermen in the TARDIS.
Oh yeah, they cut that scene, didn't they?
They cut that scene, rightly so, because that would have been a bit
stupid and nonsensical.
A bit nonsensical, and you'd have just been like, "What?"
Yeah.
So yeah, I do understand. They probably had all the promotional materials based around the fact that you'd already kind of thing.
But it just would have been nice to have a few more surprise. And no set photos had been taken of Peter Capaldi prior to his announcement. So why the fuck did they do their own BBC show saying, the next Doctor will be Peter Capaldi? No one needed to know that.
I think they did that for Matt Smith though as well.
I know, but surely they could, but even with Matt Smith, because they started filming before David Tennant left. Whereas they hadn't started filming Peter Capaldi's bits. they could have easily kept that under wraps.
Yeah, and then it would have been in
because the only scene he had shot by the time he took over was was in the TARDIS.
Yeah,
and I understand
that's his glare at the camera.
Yeah, there are potential for leaks, but you just got to I mean, like, I still don't know why that wasn't announced. In fact, they could have even sort of announced. They couldn't. They could have got away with not announcing Matt Smith was leaving as well.
Yeah.
It'd just be nice to get a few more surprises these days.
I mean, I think Series 2 as a whole, that series was quite solid.
Oh, yeah.
The few episodes, like, that's when Stephen Moffat only had to do, like, one episode every season, so they're actually quite good, because that had his, one with Marie Antoinette, didn't it? And the
Madame de Pompadour.
Madame de Pompadour, sorry. Got my historical figures mixed up again. And then, the two-part with the Cyberman, the two-parter surrounding the black hole.
Oh, so cool.
Which, although it gets a bit off its wheels at the end, with, like, Satan appearing.
Oh, I don't know. I thought that was pretty fantastic.
I thought it was... I was really excited at the time. I was like, wow.
Fucking devil in Doctor Who. But, I mean, I like how they did keep it quite subjective as well, whether he was an actual god or whether he was an alien.
Yeah, they kept it nice and ambiguous. It wasn't preachy.
It was, yeah, exactly. Oh, that episode was one of my favourites because it did go into sort of those levels that Doctor Who doesn't normally reach, because it left him so desolate as well, didn't it? And yet he managed to... Oh, I love Series 2. Series 2 was awesome. I liked Series 3 as well.
Series 3 was good.
Mostly.
I mean, out of the out of the three of Tennant's companions, I did. It goes Catherine Tate, and then I'm not sure between
Martha and Rose.
Yeah, because I did like Martha's kind of slightly more proactiveness than just kind of stand around shouting "Doctor."
Yeah,
at the same time,
she was still very human though.
Yeah, she's very human, and like.
I quite liked. I watched Smith and Jones recently, her debut episode, and there's a sort of few moments where she sort of, before she knows the Doctor is who he is, she's acting as a professional sort of nurse. She's a trainee doctor. Yeah, and she sort of like tries to sort of keep a hold of the situation and stuff, and you can tell she's scared and everything, but she's brave and she's I think she made a great companion. Yeah,
because Series 3 it starts with quite a nice episode as well. Like, it's very standard. Like, oh, we're on the moon, but it's all very cleverly done. And it introduces the Jadoon quite well because
they're great.
They play a role later as the police force.
Shadow Proclamation.
Yeah,
that's the one.
That was something that gets introduced in the very first episode, the Shadow Proclamation.
Yeah,
it doesn't actually pay off as a storyline
to the end of Series 4.
As a reference until this last of Series 4.
Now, what did you think of Stolen Earth / Journey's End?
I really like them. I think out of those episodes, I still think Turn Left is better than Life.
I agree, yeah.
Turn Left is probably my favourite episode in Series 4. Just because it's just like, but what if the Doctor hadn't been there?
Yeah, I think that's a great one too.
And it is so dark.
Yeah, it is. Like when it gets all nuclear at the end and everything.
And there's a scene with Donna's mum just sat there in like the kitchen of this tiny little house that they've now got all to themselves because the immigrants have been sent away.
Oh yeah,
and her face is just so down.
They're taking them to camps and everything as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
like really sort of satirical messages embedded in that episode as well. I mean, it's a really smart episode, possibly one of Davies' best.
Yeah,
and he did he pen the previous one as well, Midnight?
Yeah, he penned all four.
Also, genius. That one was brilliant as well. Like that much sort of tense over that much tension. That much tense. What am I even? That much tension over a villain.
Past tense, future tense.
You can't. There's nothing. There's no villain in the entire episode. Yet it keeps you unbelievably tense.
Yeah, it never shows you what caused all of that.
That's some of the best sci-fi writing I've seen because. That episode must have had virtually no budget because they spent all of it on the finale, and yet how much he manages to cram out of that budget. Brilliant. Series 4 had some really strong episodes.
Yeah, there's some that are a bit forgettable. No, I don't even think they're bad. I just don't really They're
No.
not ones that immediately come to mind. Like the bee one.
The Wasp.
The Wasp.
Unicorn and the Wasp.
That one never comes to mind. Like, I remember it being alright, but it's not... When I think of Series 4, I think of the Sontarans, I think of the finale, I think of Midnight.
A little bit of the Doctor's Daughter.
A little bit of the Doctor's Daughter, and a little bit... The opener for Series 4 was really good as well. Because it was more of like... Series 1 was kind of like... There was an alien force hidden in London. Like, Series 2 opener was a completely different world, kind of like introducing the whole...
New
Prospect.
Earth, was that? Yeah.
Yeah. The whole idea of there being this whole big galaxy to explore with the Doctor.
Yeah.
Series 3 was like the hospital on the moon, and then Series 4 was just like a mystery almost. Like, there's mysterious things going on. And also Donna Noble's character is just so well done.
Brilliant,
like,
wasn't
the chemistry that she has with the Doctor, it's like probably one of the best Doctor companion relationships.
she? Oh yeah.
Because they get along. Like,
I just want to mate. You're not mating with me, sunshine.
And when she's at the window, like mouthing all this stuff to him, he's like,
"It's me.
It's me. I come to find you. Like, are we interrupting anything?"
Oh yeah, it was a great episode. Series 5?
Yeah, because we have to do the specials, don't we?
The specials.
Because David Tennant decided that he wanted to go, but there wasn't going to be a full series with Tennant.
So to do it, they made longer episodes. And
they did
series.
The next Doctor. I remember when I see it, thinking, "Oh, this is probably the weakest Christmas special so far."
Yeah.
And now I look back on it rather favourably. Now I've got some perspective of the most recent Christmas specials.
It was the weakest Russell T Davies Christmas special.
Yeah, because it just seemed like the whole thing with the giant mecha Cyberman at the end.
Oh, it was shit, wasn't it?
It was just all of it. It was. When I look back, it was very entertaining, but it was just full of shit. It was just so weird. It was like Cybermen kidnapping children to build the super cyber king that was powered by.
And then
woman
he sees his kid at the end, just like, oh okay, he is there then. He's alive for some reason. Let's go save him.
Like this whole thing about the guy being like having amnesia and thinking he's the Doctor. That was quite an interesting concept.
Interesting concept, yeah.
But the rest of it is it just kind of goes through the motions from like weird to just really fucking weird. It ends up with the Doctor in a weather balloon sending the Cybermen out of time or something like that.
Honestly, the most memorable moment from that episode was probably when he mentioned the Daleks and pulls out that Dalek technology thing and goes, "This is Dalek technology," and the Cybermen used it to get here. And I was like, Dalek technology, cool. This episode is awful.
Yeah, to be honest, none of this, like, apart from the end of time, none of the specials really wowed me that much. Like, Planet of the Dead was alright. It was alright.
I don't know, Waters of Mars was an all-time classic, I think.
Like, Waters of Mars, it goes for, I think I enjoyed it for the first half, 3/4.
Yeah.
Then the end, when he starts getting the huge ego,
Oh no, I thought that was one of the best.
I thought it was a good bring him up to cut him down kind of thing.
Yeah, that stuck in my mind for ages when he has the first sort of crack he's had. Because Christopher Eccleston, we had that crack quite early on in Dalek.
Yeah, when he wanted to kill the Dalek.
Yeah. Whereas we didn't really see that with Tennant. He always had that. He was always quite confident, but never got arrogant. And then when he did get arrogant in the Waters of Mars, that was I think that was one of the most memorable moments of his tenure. And then, of course, it immediately has consequence.
Yeah.
In the next episode with the Master and this, that, and the other.
Well, it hasn't.
When she shoots herself, yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're up to date if you're listening to this.
Yeah, if you're listening to this. Well, if you're still listening at this point, you must have seen at least a little Doctor Who. Either that or you're being very polite.
So we should add at the beginning, maybe with a little sort of caption, we will be talking about Doctor Who from half an hour onwards or whatever. And I'm assuming you would have realised by this point that it's not just a news item.
Yeah.
Well, this is the main discussion.
Our tenuous link was too good. They think we're still talking about the news. Yeah, and then the end of time. Like at the time, I didn't think much of it. At the time, But I do appreciate, like, on further watchings, I do appreciate a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, there was some pretty epic moments. Like, again, it was a lot of fan service. I think the Master's return was done really well. I think John Simm's always been brilliant.
Yeah.
Who is it now? It's... What's her name? The actress's name? Playing Missy. Who's the Master? Spoiler alert. I've forgotten her name. Actress that plays Missy.
I know she was in Green Wing, wasn't she?
I find... I didn't find her as mind-boggling as John Sim. I thought she was a little bit too... I mean, I think, yeah, we'll obviously get to see more of her, but... And maybe it was the quality of the episode, but yeah, she hasn't really done much for me so far.
John Sim really gave across, like, a really good performance, and you're like, wow, this guy is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And that kind of really sold it as a, like, thing, especially, like, it mostly in this series 3 finale when it's almost you slowly see him getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
Or he'll be really calm on the surface and then something...
That scene at the beginning of Last of the Time Lords, when he comes in singing Scissor Sisters, that is one of the best scenes, I think. It's totally inspired, it's brilliant. But End of Time did have a lot of good moments, and I think the farewell they gave to Tennant as well was up there. Especially as Rose was...
I think
Rose was nearly the first and the last face he saw. I say nearly because I don't know why, but they decided to whack in an ood.
Yeah.
Just before he regenerated.
I don't know why they...
I don't know
they
why
put in the great grandchild of that lady he almost slept with him when he forgot he was him.
Yeah.
Like that.
It was a nice scene.
It was a nice scene, but it was like, why?
Yeah.
It's not exactly the reunion everyone's been crying out for. It's not even her.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going to put that in, why didn't they put like him sort of going up to K9 and being like, see you later.
He's a good boy. Roll onto your belly. Boom.
But yeah, a little link to Sarah Jane Adventures in that episode as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good little... Yeah, I think it was a great send-off. And certainly better than Matt Smith's.
Yeah, because we're going to be moving on to the Smith era now. Like...
But not as good. I think Eccleston was still my favourite send-off. That speech he gave at the end. I can watch that now and I can still tear up a bit.
Yeah. And like the whole...
Emergency Programme 1 when he's in the TARDIS and that little hologram comes up. That's a great scene as well. That I think, yeah, I mean, that as a send, I think that was the best actual finale, like final episode.
Which one?
Just the Bad Wolf or Parting of the Ways.
Yeah, it's the best send off of a Doctor so far. I mean, out of the 3 in New Who. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was just so simple as well. How it was just him and Rose at the end. We'll talk briefly about the Smith era because we are getting on a bit in this discussion.
I think we're almost at the hour.
We're almost at the hour, yeah.
So yes, Series 5 is... It's alright. It's just very forgettable to me. I couldn't actually tell you right now all the episodes.
Yeah, it was forgettable. I remember it was quite forgettable at the time, with quite a good... what's the word I'm looking for? One just before finale. Good penultimate episode. Not so good ultimate episode.
The ultimate episode. Yeah, like...
I like the setup to the Big Bang or whatever it's called.
The opener... The series opener spent a bit too much time trying to be, like, in the past bits, in my opinion, like, with them trying all the food. It was a very interesting set piece, but... Yeah.
It was quite a forgettable series, but now, having had Series 7, I'm...
Yeah, to be honest,
I miss Series 5.
It's quite a forgettable series, but I don't remember actually outright hating any of the episodes or thinking that they were bad.
Apart from episode 2, which I've forgotten what it's called.
See, I didn't even find The Beast Below that bad.
That's the one. Oh, I did.
So it was just very alright. It was just a bit meh.
Series 6, I think, was quite strong.
Series 6.
Other than the finale.
Series 6 just... Oh, and Let's Kill Hitler. Let's Kill Hitler is
God.
It's the first episode of Doctor Who that I openly just hated. It was just so bad.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, look at us. It was such a waste of a setting.
That was when Moffat went into full... That's when Moffat went into 11, if you'll pardon the pun.
He became drunk on his own power.
Yeah. That's when he really started becoming Emperor Palpatine and just decided to go nuts.
Stephen, stop! No one can stop me now.
Let's kill Hitler! Ha 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 ha! And then the finale as well, Wedding of River Song. Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't even remember what happens there. I just remember it being really stupid.
I remember there's a train, and there's Winston Churchill, and there's a pyramid.
Area 51 pyramid, isn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah,
and all those test tube silence
people.
Which just are like, oh yeah, we can break the glass.
And then they get married, and then Rory and Amy, fucking hell, that was a shit episode.
Amy and Rory kind of just like, oh, the Doctor's dead. Oh, no, he's not. Yeah.
And then we'll move on to that story arc if we
What, Series 6?
No, that whole fucking story arc that they tried to link everything into. So there was a crack that was the Time Lord saying Doctor Who, which the Silence didn't like, who went back to Series 6 to try and kill him.
Series 5.
And then,
oh wait, no, Series 6 is when they start trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And then
that crack was such a fucking plot device for everything, wasn't it?
The TARDIS explodes, which I still don't think has been sufficiently explained. It just kind of explodes.
Yeah, they sort of did. Yeah, the TARDIS exploding was solved by a throwaway line in Matt Smith's last ever episode, saying, "Oh, the Silence." They tried to go back and blow up the TARDIS, and they just writ everything into that last episode, and then
like the Silence are good villains as well. Like,
yeah,
the whole idea of as soon as you stop seeing them, you forget them.
Yeah, great concept.
Yeah, but like
they tried to weave everything into the one plot point.
The thing is, like Series 6, Moffat was like, "I'm going to do this big grand storyline." Then people had trouble following it a bit, and he was like, "Well, screw all of you. Now each one's going to be a self-contained movie or whatever." And he described Series 7 as. And then it got to like the end of Series 7. Matt Smith was like, "I want to leave," and it was like, "Shit."
We've got to tie everything into the last episode.
We've got to tie everything into Matt Smith's remaining episodes. Well, we can't put any of it in the 50th.
Because that would block out the casual viewer.
So we're going to have to put it all in Matt Smith's very final episode.
Yeah, which was a one-parter as well.
Yeah. And
one episode
and look,
to wrap up
his grave,
3 series worth of shite.
His grave's on Trenzalore, but oh wait, no, he doesn't die on. I don't know.
Wait, it was literally everything he's ever mentioned. Like,
oh, and River Song's dead. But
River Song's dead.
She's here as a ghost to make out with you or something.
But Trenzalore isn't there because Trenzalore was saved because of a crack that happened in Series 5 that was caused by the TARDIS exploding, but it was actually the Time Lords farting a new regeneration cycle, which meant that Trenzalore didn't get destroyed. And then remember that episode where he looked in a room and he got scared? That was the crack all along, because he's scared of cracks for some reason, because he doesn't like the smell of Time Lord farts.
Because Daddy was a builder.
Oh, it's so messy.
Yeah, it was just
messy.
Yeah,
and now he seems to be doing it again. He's just constantly writing stuff into it again.
Is,
oh, remember that woman in the shop? Oh yeah, that was Missy, who wanted Clara to find the Doctor for some reason, because Missy can beat the Doctor if he has Clara there, because then Clara will have a boyfriend who will tell the Doctor to give him the remote that blows up the Cybermen, and I don't know. Why? It's so fucking complicated. It doesn't need to be at all.
And it's like, well, now the storyline is like, I'm looking for Gallifrey. Is it here? Is it here? No. Is it here? No.
Oh, messy.
Is it here? No.
And also, one final criticism of Moffat era, the story arcs and how unsubtle they are.
Yeah, and the thing is, people used to complain about Russell T Davies because they said Doctor Who was becoming too much of a soap opera. But the thing is, what's more soap opera than having a bunch of deaths that then just get undone a few months later when the cast member wants to come back?
Yeah.
Because that is essentially Moffat's episodes in a nutshell.
He's bringing back Osgood
and
the Zygons.
And the Master. All these people that were supposedly dead or
probably
gone.
Danny at some point.
Yeah.
Let's assume Clara's going at the end of this series, shall we?
I hope
Wouldn't
so.
it be jolly convenient if Danny came back to go off with Clara and they live happily ever after? Wouldn't that be jolly convenient?
But then there's that really fucking weird scene where he talks to her from heaven. So that's really weird.
Yeah, because they just wanted to rip off
They
that Doomsday bit, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they want to rip off how the Doctor talks to Rose in Doomsday.
But the thing is, everyone likes the Doctor.
And the Doctor actually explained what he was doing.
Everyone fucking hates Danny.
Danny was like, you know that magic bracelet you gave me can bring one person back to life. So here's one of the people I killed whilst I was a soldier. The one person I killed in my entire corps.
And he's on the other side of the world because I actually killed this kid somewhere in the...
Oh yeah, please can you drop him back to the Middle East?
In your flat in London.
I killed his parents, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
He can't speak a word of English, bless him.
Surprised UKIP haven't used that for their fucking campaign ads. They're sneaking in immigrants through the afterlife.
Oh, we're political here at Cynical Optimists.
Well, we try to keep it as little as possible because politics can polarise an audience.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
because I'm about to sweat out my insides, shall we quickly move on to the Series 8 trailer? Series 9 trailer.
Well, I mean, we'll say something briefly about... Well, we said a few things about Capaldi's opening series because we say he acts very well.
He acts very well. I think it's more the script that hasn't given him the opportunity to do much yet.
The Moffat scripts in Series 8 were just a bit bad.
But even some of the better... I don't know, I mean...
Some of his they were some of his better ones since he took over as head runner, like Into the Dalek he actually wrote. But some of the best episodes of that season were not written by him.
Did he write Into the Dalek?
I think it was him and someone else.
Oh, okay. Let's just say someone else, you know.
He wrote up the draft and the other person fixed it, most likely.
By putting in the shredder and starting again. Because the guy who wrote Listen with him, I reckon he did the good bits of Listen. Listen was probably my least favourite episode of Series 8.
Yeah.
They went back to the Doctor's childhood. That's just a big no.
Well, Gallifrey's right fucking there then, isn't it?
Yeah. How the fuck did he even get to Gallifrey? It's time locked and whatever.
And it's like, he's been looking for it. Why didn't I just put on this magical mind-reading hat and think of Gallifrey?
It had some potential in that episode. Like some of the earlier bits in the episode, and that bit with the bedsheet was genuinely quite frightening.
Yeah.
And I imagine that was all the other writer. And then Stephen Moffat took it and goes, "Let's make it about the Doctor's childhood, yeah!" Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, terrible episode.
I mean, yeah, the finale, I think you'll agree, is just... We described it as Stephen Moffat falling asleep in front of the Avengers, but he's pretty sure he got the gist of what people liked about it. Because there's an airship, and there's a villain that gets captured but then escapes.
And then he just made the mess up. No, I think he fell asleep during that scene between Barton and Black Widow. Between Hawkeye and Black Widow, and then just thought, yeah, that must be the rest of the film. That's what the rest of Avengers is, just two boyfriend and girlfriends talking to each other.
Yeah, and why not? Let's make the Doctor president of the world.
President of the world. That's the most stupid fucking plot.
And it's like, but Stephen, you've got the Master here with all these Daleks made out of dead people. What are we going to do now? Iron Man.
The Cybermen can fly now because
Cybermen can fly, so let's just have them fly up into the air and blow up.
I mean, Missy fucking had the planet. She had the entire planet turn into Cybermen zombies. She'd brought down the president of the world, and yet she was like, "Right, here's the bracelet that controls all the Cybermen, mate.
Here you go.
There you go.
I'm giving you an army because
and then for some reason that means I win." Because I've just given you all the power. What the fuck? Such a stupid ending. And why did we spend so much time with Clara at that gravesite? Oh, and I hated the Mary Poppins reference. Where Missy suddenly floats down on an umbrella.
Yeah. I hope it turns out that the Doctor ran down Danny Pink in the car.
Yeah. No, it was the guy who killed Pete Tyler. He keeps warping like past again.
It's like a flashback of the day Danny Pink gets hit by the car, and you just see Peter Capaldi with his middle finger up going, ah!
Oh, dear.
And then Clara goes psycho bitch.
Oh no, actually, why don't they make it so that Matt Smith's doctor runs down Danny, and then Matt Smith and Clara go off together? That'd be a much better ending. I fixed Doctor Who.
That could be during those 800 years he does fuck all, can't it?
What, on Trenzalore?
No, like, there's a huge gap between Series 5 and Series 6.
Oh, right, when he comes back and he's like, I'm 1103 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for no reason. Or the hundreds of years he spends on Trenzalore. For some reason. Defending them from wooden Cybermen.
Or something like that.
Or something like that. Remember that episode? Where Matt Smith regenerated his face into the Dalek ship, which blew the Dalek ship up. And then he didn't actually regenerate, he just sort of went back to the TARDIS, made a phone call, and then said, hello, I'm still Matt Smith until I sneeze, and now I'm Peter Capaldi, and how do I fly this ship? And suddenly I'll remember how to fly this ship by the next episode. And then there's a dinosaur.
Then we're going to underuse the dinosaur. Oh no, the dinosaur's burst into flames. Well, there's the CGI budget gone. Here's a man that looks like a potato. He does not understand human life either.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, don't even get me started. We haven't even talked about Jenny Strax and Lizard
Jesus
Woman.
Christ, the kiss that caused the most complaints.
The kiss that caused complaints because it was a lesbian kiss, despite the fact that it was also interspecies.
It's funny what people, like, you know, it's probably being used as propaganda by some, like, deep Southern Americans. Like, if we allow gay marriage, next I was marrying lizards and aliens.
That was so ridiculous. Ugh.
If you enjoyed our ramblings on Doctor Who and want us to go into more detail on one of these sections, then we can always just do this again. We have plenty of Doctor Who to do.
Should we talk briefly about the Series 9 trailer?
Yes.
Right.
I thought it looked good. It looked cinematic.
It looks cinematic. That's the statement.
So they've got a nice cinematographer in, at least.
Yeah.
There's that lady who's like, it's me. And not sure whether that's meant to be Susan.
Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones.
We're not sure whether it's meant to be Susan or
Arya Stark.
The daughter.
Maybe it is just Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, and he recognises her. Like, oh, you're off the telly.
Do you want to come around with me in my magic box?
So yeah, the gamblings are Jenny, Susan,
Could be
the Rani, as usual.
Could be the fucking Master again, couldn't it? Wouldn't be surprised if Moffat's like, oh, this episode of the Master doesn't have enough Master.
The Bad Wolf, Clara,
the Doctor,
the Doctor, anyone who's appeared in Doctor Who, a Dalek,
Rory,
Amy, anyone. That could be literally anyone.
But there's going to be another Dalek episode. It showed off, like.
Yes, because they've decided to fucking show off the fact that they return again.
If it's
God forbid the Daleks take us by surprise.
If it's as good, if it's good like Into the Dalek, then it'll be alright. But what's the chance of that?
Did you see? It's
going to be closer to fucking Planet Asylum.
That's it. Yeah. Well,
Asylum.
Did you actually see in the trailer there was a classic Dalek in the background as well?
Oh no!
If you look closely.
Hopefully it's not Asylum. Asylum was just bad.
Peter Capaldi's voiceover sounds good. It sounds more intelligent a speech than what we've seen in the last series. I've got hopes for it. I like some of the settings they're using. Some of the CG looks great. Some of the practical effects look great. It looks dark. The sets look great. Cinematography, as you said. It's just the writing.
It is just the writing, like,
because I don't doubt anything other than the writing. Actually,
like, there's a few like good tips if you're struggling there, Stephen. One, the Doctor does not need to travel with a child for us to think that for children to think that he is a hero or friendly. That just doesn't need to happen. I don't know why you did it with Matt Smith, then again with Peter Capaldi.
Don't let the guy who wrote In the Forest of the Night, or whatever it was called, write again, please.
Is that the one with all the trees?
Yeah. Don't.
Well, that's the episode, which is completely inconsequential, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Doctor could just not have been there.
It was, awful. I mean, because they did something similar, like in terms of, earlier on in the series, like Kill the Moon. Actually, I remember that was actually quite a good episode as well, because it really showed off like how the themes of whether the Doctor should interfere or not, and I really liked that episode. It actually had some messages, and all the other episodes had great stuff to them. But in the Forest of the Night, I don't even know if that's the fucking title, but
might as well be.
The one with the trees it had nothing. It didn't add anything to the show at all.
They basically just wandered around. Then they're like, well, we should probably actually just go on the TARDIS. Oh, all these school children, come in the TARDIS. Tell your fucking parents. You just went in a box that's big on the fucking inside. None of you are surprised.
Oh. No, no more kids, please.
No more kids.
Or make sure they can act first, at least.
No more annoying kids either. It's not endearing, it's just an annoying child.
Yeah. No more puke jokes on the TARDIS. No more Clara being a fucking smartass.
No more smartasses full stop. That's real.
No more smartass female characters, please.
I know that's the only type you can write, apart from
strong does not mean smartass.
You can be strong and stupid.
Or strong and smart.
Yeah.
But it's when you add the arse onto the end of it, they become annoying.
Yeah, you can have them be strong and independent, but then the question is, why the fuck would they travel with the Doctor? They probably have their own life to be getting on with.
It's like, again, I think I really liked Martha. She wasn't a smart ass, but she was smart. And she was still one of the strongest characters.
Yeah. Like, she wasn't constantly trying to correct the Doctor.
No, exactly. There was one... They only did one scene where she tries to, like, undermine the Doctor. And that was when her family was held at gunpoint in Sound of Drums.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic, wasn't it? I loved that episode where she was like... when he was like, oh, that's a trap. And she's like, I don't care. And they drive off anyway. That's human... that's how a human would respond.
Yeah.
Like... Clara, no one is like that.
No, I don't think so. And the thing is, like, no matter how smart anyone is on this planet anyway, you're not going to know a thing about cultures or life on a different planet. You got this guy who does know. You're like, no, shut up, I know this.
And like alien technology as well, they somehow always seem to know. Oh, that's my head in. Just stop smartasses.
Hashtag stop the smartasses. It's our big campaign.
So that's about it.
I think so, yeah.
I think I'm literally about to...
burst into flames?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Like the dinosaur in... what's that episode called again?
Burst into flames like a dinosaur on Doctor Who.
What's that episode called again?
The 12th hour.
I've completely forgotten.
The Dinosaurs of London.
Right, I could probably name every Russell T D. Fucking hell, I can't even speak. Russell T Davies episode, but I can't name any of my fans. Apart from Into the Forest of the Night, and I'm not sure that's even.
And Into the Dalek.
Into the
London.
What was that one called? What was this first episode called? If you know what the first episode of Series 8 was called, post it in the comments if you've got this far into the episode.
Or look it up on Wikipedia like we probably will when we stop recording.
Yeah. Phil, theme tune.
I don't know. There's probably a good Doctor Who remix, isn't there?
Yes. Something dubsteppy.
Yeah, we can't go with legitimate themes. We did that one time and Nick didn't like it. But that's only because we couldn't find Peter Capaldi playing the guitar.
Yes, we'll have some sort of dubstep remix. I've been sweaty.
And I've been wet forehead.
We will see you next week with another topic.
Yes.
Gaming related.
The topic next week, I'm not even sure if it is. I think next week might be the Star Wars films.
Oh, okay.
The topic next week. Drum roll, please.
It's loading. It's the longest fucking drum roll I've ever heard.
No, it's not. I've heard longer. Is 1985 the year? Because we're going to be talking about the two major properties that have their 30-year anniversaries this year, which is Back to the Future and Mario. So it's a bit of both worlds.
Oh, okay, nice.
So join us next week for that.
And hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler outside.
Yeah, so we'll do it at my house in the cooler room.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been haddowinc.
And I've been NGM.
We'll see you next week.
Bye!